I know a lot of gamers out there don't have much patience. At least that's what Bishop, the dude at the video store, said. So I'm at the register, then I realized I got no money. I was seriously broke. Why? Because I met this smoking hot chick last night at the deathmatch bar. Man, she smelled good. So being the gentleman I am, I bought her a drink. Anywho, I decided to get a job. The gig? Assassinate the drifter. So I went where I was supposed to and waited for the guy to show up. And there he was, this cat, well-dressed, cool, couldn't tell if he was the shit or just plain old shit. Yeah, so he's styling, fast, aggressive, and packing heat. Bada bing. Or at least it was supposed to be. Till she showed up. Her name? Sylvia Crystal, an agent with this whatchamacallit association.
Congratulations. You are certified as the 11th best hitman. How about getting rid of the 10 killers above you and aim for the top?
I want to be number 1. How's that? Short and simple enough for you? It's gonna be a long, hard road. But who knows? Could kick ass. Could be dangerous. Could totally suck. What do you say, bro? Join me. Let's see how far we can take this. And for you there holding the Wii remote right now, just press the A button. Let the bloodshed begin.
Hello everyone, and welcome to No More Heroes on the Nintendo Wii. I am One Welsh Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are tackling this absolutely amazing game. This is one of the greatest games on the Nintendo Wii, and I honestly do love it. Now, I am playing the Nintendo Wii version, and this is the European version, so it is censored, so I will point that out right away. And the reason I'm not doing the uncensored PS3 version is simply because I don't own it, and I don't really want to buy it because I got the Wii version, and the controls, I think, are perfect for this game, you know. So, without any further ado, let's begin.
Fuckhead! Yo, help me out here. Where's this death metal dude? Bad answer. It's game time.
So there we go, you heard the man himself, it is game time. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Travis Touchdown, an everyday otaku, and I'm not showing a tutorial, I'll explain the controls as we go along. But yeah, Travis Touchdown is a glorious otaku who bought a lightsaber online and decided to take up an occupation in the form of hitmanism, which basically means I must chop up enemies to get money. So yeah, it's gonna be a good ride. Now, for the most part, in terms of controls, because this is a Nintendo Wii game, we have the nunchuck hook up to this, so use the main analog stick to move, and if you press the C button on the nunchuck, you can actually center your camera, so it's basically right behind you at all times. You can press the D-pad on the Wii remote itself to move the camera left and right of the screen. Whenever you press the A button, you do a normal attack on enemies, and depending on whether you're aiming your Wii remote upwards or downwards, will vary the attack you're doing. For example, if you're holding the Wii remote upright, you'll do a high attack, which tends to be a quicker attack that you can do more quicker flurries against enemy goons that are in the area. If you hold the Wii remote a bit lower down, however, you can actually do a slower, heavier attack that does a bit more damage. And the way to play this game effectively, I feel, is to sort of switch between higher and lower attacks. Now, if you press the B button, you'll do a melee kick, which You can use the stun enemies and get them ready to do special wrestling moves that I don't think we can do many of at the minute, but it's an option if you want. And you can also use the B button in order to break open crates and stuff that are in the environment. Now whenever you see a pink or red crate, it depends on, I think it's pink, in the environment, basically what you need to do is break that open and you will gain access to a health pickup. And as you can tell, the top left of the screen is where your health is, and if you get hit by enemies, that's no good. You get hit by enemies, your health is going to take a hit, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, basically the main attack is the A button, and as you can tell, an arrow will come on the screen every time I beat someone's health down to pretty much 0. Now basically what you need to do is actually slice the Wii remote in the direction of the arrow that's being shown on screen at the time. So if an arrow points to the left, you swing your Wii remote to the left, and so on and so forth. And while you're doing this, if you rapidly shake the Wii remote, you can actually charge up your beam katana, which is, it's now officially called a lightsaber, but it's a beam katana in quotations. You'll charge up your beam katana and you'll be able to get multiple enemies out usually in a single swing. That giant slot machine thing you just saw as well, that is this game's power-up system. From time to time you will be able to get power-ups just by random occurrence. And it's a bit of a system that I'm going to probably go into a bit of a rant later down the line with, because it's very, very random. Although you do have a lot of power-ups you can get. For example, you get the ability to go Super Saiyan, you have the ability to turn to the dark side of the Force. Trust me, there's a lot of things going on in this game, and this is a fantastic experience. I love it through and through. Now, one of the things I do like about this game in the European version, which obviously is the version I'm playing, is because of the censorship, because there's no blood in the actual gameplay. The game runs better as a whole, so I'm kind of happy about that. But of course, a lot of this game's charm disappears when you're playing this in the European version, so if you want the full experience, it's probably best to play the American release. The strange thing is, the Japanese version of the game is censored as well, and this game was primarily made in Japan, so did they just add blood for the American release? I don't know, it's so weird. But anyway, this is a very linear game, you know, all these stages are basically consist of hallways, and the real challenge of the game is not so much traversing your environment as much as it is killing everything you see. And I just love the fact that whenever you kill enemies in this game, they just explode into a burst of coins. It's such a video gamey game, you know. And the game is self-aware. It knows that it's very ridiculous and video gamey. And that's basically to its plus. It really works with the whole video game sort of aesthetic and just rolls with it, you know. It just goes straight-faced, okay, I'm a video game, you're a game player, we are doing this, yo. And it's very well written. The storyline in this game is just, it's extremely realistic in compared to most games in terms of the main character's reason for doing all this. Like, the reason for doing this mission by here is just because, but you'll find out the true motive of Travis Touchdown later down the line, and it's basically equivalent to he wants to get laid. And as sad as it is, that's probably the most realistic motivation for a male video game character I have ever seen in any game, you know. Oh, I'm gonna get laid. Okay, it's time to kill some people. Seriously, it's just so realistic in terms of what a male character would actually act like, you know. It's so strange. But yeah, all these mooks, there's not many enemy types in this game. There's usually just, actually now that I think about it, it's literally about 3 enemy types you can fight throughout the entire game. There's lightsaber mook, normal enemy mook, and gun mook. And to be fair, they're all fairly easy to deal with, except this lightsaber mook right here is the hardest of the enemy types, and we're going to see a couple of them as time goes on. And because I said that, because the power-up system works on like a roulette logic, what you'll find is a lot of the times you get power-ups for your character, and they will activate just as you're leaving the room, which means the power-ups are completely pointless, and it's very annoying. Anyway, what I'm doing right by here is I'm actually charging up my attack, which basically is an instant kill for most mooks that you fight. And to do that instant charge up mega attack, all you need to do is hold down the A button and Travis will start gaining energy in his beam katana and just let it out, let it loose on all the enemies in the area. And you can do one that's overhead and one that's lower. I like doing the low version more because the overhead, the high charge up attack, it has a limited amount of time before you're allowed, you know, it gets set off automatically after a limited amount of time. But if you do the low blow attack of it, instead of being set off for a limited amount of time, you can charge it and slowly move towards the enemies, and it's very handy. Now what I did with that is a wrestling move. If you can get an enemy stunned and you press the B button near them, you get a prompt to move the nunchuck and Wii remote in a set direction. Do that and you'll do a very devastating attack, and it's basically the best way of remove health from boss fights more than anything. Against these normal mooks, it just sort of sends them on the floor, allowing you to knock them out with a downwards slice attack, you know, which you automatically do if the enemy's on the floor and you press the A button. So there's that. Of course, on the right hand side of the screen you'll see a little energy bar. Now as time goes on, when you're hitting enemies and blocking attacks, which you can block attacks by pressing the Z button by the way, you'll eventually run out of energy. It'll slowly deplete. So there's two ways you can actually gain energy in this game. First, you can either go to the blue crates and pick up a battery, which will recharge your energy gauge, or you can press the 1 button and you do this amazing little shaking motion as Travis, and it just looks so wrong if you do it in the corner of the room, because it just looks like he's masturbating. It's amazing. But what you need to do when you do that is you just shake the Wii remote rapidly, and eventually the gauge will fill up, allowing you to progress on. I wish batteries in real life worked like that, because dear god, the amount of times I've played on my Game Boy or something and the batteries died, and I'm like, no! My score in Tetris is ruined! No! But, you know. Anyway, this is the dark side power-up. Whenever you're inside dark side mode, whenever you go up to nearby enemies, basically a giant quick time event will initiate. Push the button that pops up on screen and you will slice the enemies into bits. If you press the wrong button, you will taunt the enemy, and that's pretty much it. They can't hurt you while you're in this mode, and it's literally free enemy death, you know. Although it's very annoying when sometimes stuff like that happens where the enemy can clip you. But yeah, I have to say, blocking in this game is pretty much mandatory to get through. It's such a big deal, blocking. And whenever you block, your energy gauge will drop down by a crap ton, you know, folks. But hey, we're pretty much on the last stretch to reach the boss fight.
Hey Travis, your ranked fight begins just up ahead. Win, and you will be 10th. Lose, and hell awaits. Are you up to this? Need a bathroom break? Whatever you need to do, do it now. Your opponent, some call him the Holy Sword. He is good, but I know you can take him. You are the man. I am the tiger. He only looks tough because his mother was an ugly bitch. Take it to the red zone. Assassin's way at full throttle. Unleash your power. Show no mercy. Bring me death metal set. Enter when you are prepared to fight. I believe in you and your force. Now, off to the Garden of Madness.
Get used to hearing the words Garden of Madness, because she's going to be saying that throughout the entire game, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, it's time for the first boss fight, pretty much. And one thing I want to bring up about this game is, because of how much they don't take this game seriously. By the way, go over this mask, you'll learn a new wrestling move, useful in boss fights. But because of how they don't take this game seriously, the humor is just amazing, because the developers know not to take the plot too seriously for this game. And that's kind of like an issue I have with the second game, really, because the second game sort of ruins the tone of this game because it tries to become a bit more of a serious game. But this game, it has a serious, it does no serious tone whatsoever. Everything is just pretty much a joke throughout the entire thing. And it has the single greatest save points mechanism in any game ever. You go to the shitter to save your game. It's godlike. I'm impressed by this. It's so amazing. But yeah, needless to say, save the game first before you enter the boss fight, because you never know what might happen. Even though this first boss is a bit of a pushover, you may have trouble, you know? You're just getting used to the controls if you're at this point of the game, so without any further ado, let's begin to fight Death Metal. Such a metal name.
Quite beautiful, wouldn't you say? Paid for with the lives of many. When you have the strength to take life for yourself, that is true wealth. I am free of desire. So long as I have this scenery to look upon, I need nothing more. Please leave me be.
You're the one leaving. In a body bag.
I'll only say this once more. Leave here now!
Huh. Me leave? You obviously don't know me.
You don't get it, do you?
Hey, you know what paradise is, right?
Paradise?
This is paradise. The place where dreams are fulfilled. Well, you've had your dream, old man. Time to wake up!
This is no paradise.
All right. Then what is it?
A place to die.
Huh. I'm glad you and I are on the same page here.
So naive. You have no idea, do you? What a pity. You make an old man cry. Arrogant, crude little shits like you come around from time to time. Listen well, young one. The wall is high, higher than you will ever know. Ultimate sacrifice is sublime. Now draw.
Huh. You can take that to your grave.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the first boss fight of the game. Now to start things off, immediately block. And whenever you are blocking, is a new ability I am yet to really explain. If you rapidly press the analog stick to the left or right of the person you're blocking from, at the right time, you're able to do something called a shadow step. And what this move essentially does is, you will immediately go to the left and right of the enemy, and they will be stunned for a short amount of time, allowing you to just slice them apart. And one thing I'm talking over right now is actually Travis Touchdown. He has a bit of like inner monologue going on in his boss fights. The problem though, however, is I can't understand what he's saying because there's so much noise and whatnot coming from death metal by here that I honestly have no idea what he says. It's quite a shame really, because this game's writing is godlike, you know. But anyway, basically all the boss fights are going to really go through this pattern. Obviously they're going to get a bit harder, and they all have their own unique gimmicks. So just hit them until they do their own specific gimmick and just continue hitting them more, and that's all I can say. Now Death Metal's gimmick by here is that he's going to swap into, well not even swap, he's going to split apart into 3 versions of himself. He's going to do a bit of shadow clone jutsu going on. So what you need to do is you need to take out all the clones of him, and you do need to take out all of his versions in order to take him on. Which is a bit annoying, but it has to be done, you know. After a certain amount of time, after a certain amount of time, you'll be able to get through the stage with no problem. It's really easy. There's a health pickup right around the corner, and it's mainly trial and error at this point. Now, every now and then you get into like a struggle with enemies, and whenever you do that, you just have to rapidly shake the Wii remote in order to hurt them, because otherwise they'll hurt you. So just be a bit careful of that. And like I say, one of the best things you can do in this game is sort of move between high and low attacks, swap between the two, because whenever you do, your combo will be extended a little bit, and you'll be able to get quite a bit of damage done. And whenever you're doing your melee attack, if you're fighting against certain enemies, you can actually charge up the melee attack just by holding down the B button. And what this will do is it's basically a guaranteed stun. It doesn't work so well on boss fights, but it's something to take into account in main normal Mook combat, because later on down the line we're going to have to do missions where we can't use the beam katana, and we're going to have to use melee attacks to take out enemies, so I might as well get that bit of advice out of the way now. But yeah, like I said, it's mainly trial and error at this point. It's mainly just perseverance. Just keep wailing on him. Eventually he'll go down. And the boss fights do get really difficult in this game, folks. This is not the easiest game in the world. It's very tricksy. Good fun though. I mean, I love playing this game. There's only two major... Actually, yeah, there's only one major boss in this game that I really have trouble with, and I believe that's coming up pretty soon. But with one charge attack later, this guy is down and out.
Extraordinary. The moment I've been waiting for. The name Holy Sword is now yours.
You're joking, right? I don't care about titles or power. I just want to be #1.
Then master the ways of the assassin.
Here's your ticket to paradise, old man.
And there we go, we have the mission complete. Not bad for the first mission. And you see that 777 thing on the end credit screen there? I'll explain more about that in the next part, because that actually comes into play. But yeah, with that mound of pixie dust on the floor, it's time to get our new health pickup. Just like Zelda, after every boss fight you'll be able to pick up one of these, so we'll just grab them, pick them up, and eventually we'll be able to continue onwards. And I don't know if there's a way to not pick it up, because I think the game forces you to pick that up, which is kind of strange. Oh well.
Nice kill, Travis. I didn't think you had it in you. It was rather exciting. Congratulations. You are now ranked 10th.
10th, huh? What? Do I get anything?
How about some cash? That should help you pay the bills.
I'm not feeling the sense of accomplishment that I should here. So I just gotta do this a few more times, right?
If you so choose, yes.
And you will keep your promise?
There is nothing the association cannot do.
And if I refuse?
As the 10th ranked assassin, you are now a target for those who want to replace you. Anytime, anywhere. Number 11 could be right around the corner, ready to put a knife in your eye.
So what you're telling me is that I gotta continue fighting. There's no way out of this. You set me up, bitch.
Quit your bitching and get with the program. There's only one road out of here. No turning back.
Okay, how about this? If I become #1, will you do it with me?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Come on, just once.
Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the first part of Normal Heroes. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And when we return next time, we'll be taking on the well, not even the second mission. Next part, we're going to be basically going through the city, because this game has a giant open world, folks, that I'm probably going to go in a little bit of a rant about, because it is the biggest problem with this game by far. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you all next time. Thank you for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people, and I'll see you all then. Bye!